vessels. These are also known as a trachea. Now these vessels are long, wide and cylindrical cells. These are also dead cells. And these cell walls are thick, but the lumen is wider. And the ends of the vessels are perforated. End walls are perforated. This is one of the main differences between tracheids and vessels. It is perforated, and cells are connected by means of perforations. Through these perforations, one is connected with another, so that they connected a tube-like structure inside the plant body, so that they form a tube-like structure for transport of water. Here also we'll get the same different types of thickenings. They're like that annular, spiral, scalariformal. So thickenings may be again similar to that of this. It may be annular, spiral, then scalariform, reticulate, or pitted. And here also we'll get buttered pits, but the number of pits are usually less than that of the tracheids, because here they are perforated, water can easily move. So that is why the buttered pits are less in number than that of the tracheids. Now, one of the very important characters of these vessels is these vessels are present only in angiosperms. They are never present in case of pteridophytes and gymnosperms. These are the present only in angiosperms. There are only some primitive angiosperms like Winteraceae, Tetracentraceae and Trochodendroceae. Not necessary that you remember all these things. There are some primitive families where the vessels are not present. Otherwise it is present in all angiosperms. And though the pteridophytes and gymnosperms, they do not have these vessels, but again there are some exceptions. Like in case of the neetum. Neetum is a gymnosperm, but here I will get vessels. But that doesn't mean that all gymnosperms have vessels. This is only exception. So these are the characteristics of the vessels. Now let us explain it diagrammatically. Usually now this is one cell. You see, this end may be round or it may be oblique. Usually it is oblique in case of dicots and round in case of monocots. But in the same diagram I have shown you both. It may be round, and this is known as perforation, because to this another cell may be attached to this here again, and again one will be attached here. That means likewise the cells are one above another, so that the entire vessel gives like a pipe-like structure in the plant body, so that water and minerals can be easily conducted. The walls are very thick, as already we have discussed. Walls are very thick. The lumen is quite wide, and here and there we'll get pits. These are the pits, and these perforated walls, it may be there may be a single perforation like this. It's single perforation, or sometimes we get multiple perforations like this. This is a multiple perforation. Multiple perforation. That is, in the end, it may be like this, or this may be a single perforation. So some cases it may be single or it may be multiple, but this is the structure of the vessels. So if we will compare between the tracheids and vessels, we will find that tracheids are single cells. They are not connected with each other, whereas the vessels, they form a longitudinal tube-like structure because their end walls are perforated. This is one of the major difference. The second one is the cell walls are thick in both cases, but the walls of tracheids are thicker, while the walls of these are thick. Both are thick, but if this is thick, we can call it thicker. That is why here the lumen is wider, and since in case of tracheid the thickness is more, the lumen is narrow. And the efficiency for conduction of water in case of vessels is more, but in case of tracheids the efficiency is less, because there is no direct connection, only water will move through pits in a zigzag manner. That is why the efficiency is less. These are the major difference between tracheids and vessels. Otherwise, the thickness and other things are same. And very important thing, this is the characteristics of all angiosperms, while pteridophytes are present mostly in the gymnosperms and pteridophytes. If we will come to the third component, the third component is xylem fiber. And xylem fiber is nothing, that is only sclerenchyma fiber that is associated with the xylem. So the next one is xylem fiber. So it is just like sclerenchyma fiber. It may look like a fiber tracheid when it resembles a tracheid, or it may be libriform fiber when it resembles to that of the phloem fiber. When it resembles to the phloem fiber, it is known as libriform, and when it resembles to tracheid, it is known as fiber tracheid. It is of two types. But this xylem fiber is mostly present in secondary xylem. It is present in secondary xylem and absent in case of the primary xylem. And it is a dead tissue. It is associated with the tracheids and vessels. So its main function is only to provide strength. Then the fourth one is known as xylem parenchyma. Xylem parenchyma is the only living tissue. It is the only living tissue in the xylem because all others are dead. It may be associated with vessels, and if it is associated with vessels, it is known as paratracheal. And if not associated, then it is known as apotracheal. Paratracheal, apotracheal. The main function of the xylem parenchyma is usually it stores starch, fats, and tannins. Also, it helps in radial conduction of water. Radial conduction of water. So these are the functions. Now, sometimes what happens? The xylem parenchyma protrudes into the lumen of the xylem to give rise to tyloses. It's very important. This is the xylem. This is xylem vessel, And suppose this is the xylem parenchyma. Sometimes through the pit, the xylem parenchyma protrudes into the lumen of the vessel, forming a balloon-like structure. So this balloon-like structure is known as a tylose. Tylose. So when a tylose is formed, what happens? Now the lumen is blocked. That means the conduction of water and minerals cannot take place. So wherever this tylose is formed, the upper part of that plant cannot get water and minerals. So naturally they will become dead. This is one way of healing of wounds. The tyloses, they help in healing of wounds. Suppose we will cut a plant, from one branch we will cut it. That means through that opening, the water and minerals will be lost from the plant body. But how that will be cured? In that case, a tylose will form, so conduction of water and minerals will be stopped, so the cells will be dead. That means we will tell that the wound which has been created is healed of. So this is the main function of the tylose, and it is formed only by xylem parenchyma. Now, the xylem is again of two types. The xylem may be primary xylem, if it is present in the primary tissues, or it may be secondary xylem when it is present in the secondary tissues. Now the primary xylem, it is again of two types. It may be the protoxylem, or it may be metaxylem, protoxylem or metaxylem. Now usually the protoxylem, these are smaller in size, while these are bigger in size. This have, or let us write, can be stretched. This cannot be stretched. These have usually annular spiral thickenings, while these have usually the reticulate and pitted thickenings. These have no fibers. Here fibers present. No tyloses. Here tyloses formed. So these are the difference between protoxylem and metaxylem. Now diagrammatically let us explain what is structure of this protoxylem, metaxylem in case of stem and root. Now if we draw the diagram of stem, what we will find? Suppose this is one dicot stem. Then how the metaxylem and protoxylem are present here? This is the outer side. Now these are the very, you see, this is metaxylem, while the smaller ones are known as protoxylem. So this is suppose one dicot stem. Now you will take the case of root. In case of root, what happens? The orientation is different. The metaxylem is present toward the center, while the protoxylem is present toward the outer side, like this. So this is the metaxylem, this is protoxylem, the smaller one is protoxylem, and the bigger one is known as metaxylem. This is metaxylem. So this is the diagram of the root. Now you see, in case of stems, the metaxylem is toward the outer side, while the protoxylem is toward the center, towards the pith. This arrangement of protoxylem metaxylem, we can call it as endarch. That means we can call xylem is endarch, or we can call it is centrifugal. While here the case is opposite. Here we can call that xylem is exarch, or we can call it is centripetal. That means in case of roots, the xylem is exarch or centripetal, because here the metaxylem is present towards the center. While in case of stems, it is endarch or centrifugal, because the metaxylem is present towards the outer side and the protoxylem is present towards the inner side. So these are the four different types of constituents of the xylem, that the tracheids, vessels, xylem fiber and xylem parenchyma. Xylem parenchyma is the only living tissue, while all others are dead. Now, what is the main function of the xylem? This is structure. Function. The main function is, as already we have discussed, the main function is conduction of water and minerals. Conduction of water and minerals. This is the main function. So this is all about the structure of the xylem, and let us discuss one or two questions. So one question we can take. The function of xylem parenchyma. The function of xylem parenchyma is storage of starch grain, B, tannins, C, fats and oils, D, all of the above. Second question. Tracheids differ from vessels. Tracheids differ from vessels in having A choice, perforations, B, imperforations, C, wider lumen, D, less thickness of cell wall. So we will be able to answer both the questions, because we have discussed all the things during our discussion. I hope now your understanding about the xylem is clear. Thank you very much for watching it, and God bless you. Have a good day.